everybody, JC here with another TNI news update. And today I'm just coming at you with some highlights from this weekend's New York Comic Con convention. Yesterday I talked about Marvel Legends and Star Wars Black Series figures and a couple SH Figure Arts Thor Ragnarok figures. So I've got a few more highlights to share with you guys today. Now this isn't everything. There's a lot more news that have been going up on the sites and images and everything. So I do highly recommend that if you haven't already, be sure to head over to toynewseye.com, tformers.com, marvelousnews.com, and JediInsider.com for all the latest happenings. We're still uploading images and such, so throughout the weekend we'll be adding more and more stuff. But again, I just wanted to go over some highlights, some new stuff that was revealed, and just go into kind of some specifics on that stuff. So starting off, first of all, I just wanted to touch base on the Star Wars Black Series figures. One of the figures I forgot to mention yesterday was a new Rey figure that they showed off. This has the poncho with a soft goods poncho type deal. So I did forget to mention that one yesterday, but that was a figure that they had on display at their event. But anyway, moving on for today, I wanted to touch base on some new Dragon Ball Stars, Dragon Star figures, the 6.5-inch Dragon Star figures that Bandai America has been doing. They had a new wave on display at New York Comic Con, Wave 3. And this wave is going to include ROF Goku, the character Hit, Super Future Trunks, and the half-corrupted Zamasu. I think I'm pronouncing that correctly. So that's going to be the next wave of Dragon Stars, the 6.5-inch Dragon Stars, which were on display this weekend at New York Comic Con. Or I should say are on display at New York Comic Con. Okay, and switching gears to Storm Collectibles and their 1/12 scale video game lines, they had a number of new Mortal Kombat figures on display. So they're doing several new repaints of the Sub-Zero / Scorpion figures. So we're getting a red version, better known as Ermac, a purple version, better known as Rain, and then a gray version, also known as Smoke. So basically, again, these are essentially repaints of their Sub-Zero Scorpion figure, but that's what they basically were in the video game. So if you're a fan of those characters, we'll be getting figures of those. No specific details if they'll come with different accessories or anything like that, but they did have those on display. And then they also had some prototype figures, which we had seen at San Diego Comic-Con. These were unpainted prototypes, but just to recap, they had Katana, Liu Kang with his dragon where he turns into a dragon, so it's an actual separate dragon figure. I'm guessing that's some kind of deluxe figure that they're doing. Baraka, I believe what is Mortal Kombat X Scorpion figure. That's what it looks like to me. It's hard to tell since it's unpainted, but that's what it looks like to me. And then the character Cracks. They also had an unpainted prototype for their King of Fighters line, their first figure in their King of Fighters line. Rugal, I believe is how you pronounce his name. And then finally they had a painted version of their first figure in their Tekken 7 line, Mishima. Sorry if I'm butchering that name, but that's, I believe, our first look. I think at Comic-Con, San Diego Comic-Con, they had an unpainted prototype of him, but this is our first look of a more finalized version of the figure. Diamond Select Toys debuted their new 7-inch scale Pacific Rim Uprising figure, so they're doing 3 figures to start out in the first wave, and that's going to include Saber Athena, Bracer Phoenix, and Gypsy Avenger. And those figures are currently up for pre-order at Big Bad Toy Store now, and they're set for release in April. And then Mezco had some reveals or updates to figures we had seen at San Diego Comic-Con. So first of all, they've made some modifications to their Thor Ragnarok Hulk figure. Looks like they modified the hair on the figure, so it does look a little bit different than what we saw at San Diego Comic-Con. And then they also had a new, I believe this is a new Joker figure. I don't think we've seen this Joker figure before, so another Joker figure coming in the line. And then Mezco actually caused a bit of a stir yesterday with their New York Comic Con exclusive Tiger Stripe Wolverine. They basically completely sold out of it the first day early in the morning, which has upset quite a few people as I hear it. So if you were hoping to get that figure and you were planning to attend the convention sometime this weekend, unfortunately it looks like you're going to be out of luck on that one. and secondary market prices are already skyrocketing on that. I don't know how many figures they actually had on hand, but you know, basically they allowed them to all sell out immediately. So again, if you're hoping to get that figure at some point this weekend, it is not going to be available because it's completely sold out. And then finally, Mattel had some DC Multiverse figures out on display. Now, Mattel themselves weren't actually at New York Comic Con, but at the DC Entertainment booth, they had these new figures, which we'd actually gotten our first glimpse of during San Diego Comic Con. Some images for those had leaked out, and so now we're getting looks at the actual figures, though these still look like early prototypes. And there are two figures that are missing that were in the images, the initial batch of images for this wave, which is the Bizarro figure and the Simon Baz Green Lantern figures. Those were not on display. I don't know if those have been basically pulled from the wave or if they just didn't have the figures on hand to put out. Again, since nobody from Mattel is actually there, there was really nobody to ask those questions. But the figures they did have on display was Vixen, Rebirth Wonder Woman, Gaslight Batman, Rey, and then a translucent Rey figure. So I don't know if this is some kind of variant or store exclusive or what the deal is. This figure was not shown in the initial batch of images. I'm guessing it's probably going to be some kind of store exclusive. And then the Collect and Connect figure for this wave is going to be the Rebirth Lex Luthor in that Superman type armor. And these figures are slated for a spring 2018 release. And those of you who have been asking about when the Clayface wave is going to be released, best information I have is we should see them by the end of this year or at the very latest early next year, but that wave is still coming. Okay, so that's it for this update. Again, please check all the websites for more in-depth coverage of all these things and more. Please leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about the stuff that we discussed today and just stuff you've been seeing from New York Comic Con. Also, please like the video if you're so inclined and hit that subscribe button down below. I'd really appreciate it. And you can also follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts. I have links to those in the video description as well. And as always, until next time, guys, I will catch you later.